The story of British India is a story of trade. It is a story of ambition, and it is a story of money. Long before the British Crown ruled India, a powerful corporation did. The East India Company started as a humble trading firm. It arrived on the shores of India in the early 17th century, seeking spices, textiles, and other exotic goods. For decades, they traded using a chaotic mix of currencies. They used Spanish silver dollars, local princely coins, and whatever else was available. This was inefficient. It was confusing. For a company that was slowly transforming from a group of merchants into a ruling power, this simply would not do. They needed their own money to assert control and streamline their vast operations. The idea of a standardized currency was not just about making trade easier, it was a powerful statement of authority. By minting their own coins, the East India Company was telling the world, and more importantly, the people of India, that they were a force to be reckoned with. They were no longer just visitors, they were here to stay. This transition began slowly, with the company first establishing mints in their major strongholds like Madras, Bombay and Calcutta. These early coins often imitated the local designs of the powerful Mughal Empire. This was a clever political move. It made the new money more acceptable to the local population who were accustomed to the familiar symbols of Mughal power. The move towards a uniform coinage across all of British India gained momentum in the early 19th century. The company's territories had expanded dramatically. They now controlled vast swathes of the subcontinent. A single reliable currency was essential for administering this growing empire. The Coinage Act of 1835 was a landmark moment. It decreed that a new series of coins would be minted, bearing the portrait of the reigning British monarch, King William IV. This was the final step in replacing the diverse regional currencies with a single imperial system. This act paved the way for some of the most iconic coins of the era, including the gold Mohur. The introduction of gold coins, specifically the Mohur, was a strategic decision aimed at the highest levels of commerce and administration. Silver rupees were the workhorse of the economy, used for everyday transactions by ordinary people. Gold Mohurs, however, were different. They were large, valuable coins intended for significant payments, for settling large trade deals, and for storing wealth. They represented the pinnacle of the company's new monetary system. For an American audience, think of it like the difference between a common dollar bill and a high-denomination gold certificate from the same era. The Mohur was a symbol of serious wealth and power in a land far from home. The one Mohur coin struck under the authority of the East India Company is a masterpiece of numismatic design. It was created to project an image of strength and stability. The most striking feature on the reverse of the coin is the powerful image of a lion standing before a palm tree. This was not a random choice of imagery. The lion, a traditional symbol of English royalty and strength, represented the might of the British. The palm tree, a plant quintessentially associated with India, represented the land itself. The message was clear and unsubtle. The British lion now stood dominant in the Indian landscape. This powerful emblem was the company's coat of arms, a visual declaration of their corporate sovereignty. On the obverse, or the head side, the coin featured a portrait of the reigning British monarch. For the coins minted after the 1835 Act, this was King William IV. His likeness, engraved with remarkable detail, faced to the right. The inscription, William IV, King, circled the portrait, leaving no doubt as to who held ultimate authority. This was a significant departure from the earlier coins that mimicked Mughal designs. By placing their own king on the currency, the British were making a bold political statement. They were no longer hiding behind the facade of the old empire. They were now the undisputed rulers, and this was their money. The coin itself was minted with a specific and high-purity gold. Legally, the one mohur was specified to contain 180 troy grains of gold, with a fineness of 11/12 pure gold, or approximately 91.7% purity. This is equivalent to 22 karat gold, a standard still widely recognized and valued today. This high gold content ensured the coin's intrinsic value and made it trusted in high-value transactions across the vast trading networks of Asia. Each coin was a small but significant treasure, a reliable store of wealth that could be transported, traded, or melted down if needed. The consistency and quality of the gold were paramount to its success and acceptance. A fascinating detail for collectors is the 1985 date found on some of these one mohur coins. This date is a historical puzzle. There was no East India Company minting coins in 1985. The company had been dissolved over a century earlier. The 1985 one mohur is, in fact, a modern commemorative restrike. It was issued by the modern-day successors to the East India Company, a trading firm that acquired the rights to the name and coat of arms. These modern issues are crafted to honor the original design, often using the old dies or masterfully recreated ones. They are a tribute to the historical coins, not an original from the 19th century, a distinction crucial for any serious collector. The one mohur gold coin was never intended for the common person's pocket. Its value was far too great for daily market transactions. A single gold mohur was officially valued at 15 silver rupees, which was a considerable sum of money at the time. This was the currency of wealthy merchants, powerful landowners, and high-ranking officials of the East India Company itself. Imagine a British officer receiving his salary, or a merchant settling a large shipment of cotton or opium. These were the transactions where the heavy, shining gold mohurs would have been used. They were a physical manifestation of the immense profits being generated by the company's activities in India. These coins were also instrumental in the company's more complex financial dealings. They were used to pay for military campaigns, to fund infrastructure projects like railways and telegraph lines, and to reward loyal local princes and allies. The movement of these gold coins often mirrored the expansion of British influence. Chests filled with mohurs would have traveled under heavy guard from the mints in Calcutta or Bombay to remote military outposts or administrative centers. They were the lifeblood of the company's power, allowing it to project its authority across thousands of miles. The coins were a tool of empire, as crucial as any rifle or cannon in the company's arsenal. Ownership of these coins was a clear status symbol. An Indian merchant who conducted his business in gold mohurs was seen as successful and modern, aligned with the new economic order. A British family living in India might have kept a small number of mohurs locked away as a secure form of savings. Stories abound of these coins being used as diplomatic gifts or even as prestigious awards. In a society with a deep cultural appreciation for gold, the mohur, with its British design and guaranteed purity, quickly became a highly desirable object. It represented a bridge between the traditional Indian love for gold and the new Western-dominated economic system. As the British Crown took direct control of India from the company in 1858, the coinage began to change again. The iconic lion and palm tree were replaced by designs that more directly represented the British Raj. The East India Company mohurs gradually fell out of circulation, though they remained legal tender for many years. Many were likely melted down over the decades, repurposed into jewelry or other gold items, a common fate for old gold currency. This process of removal from circulation and melting is a primary reason why the original 19th century mohurs are so scarce today. Each surviving coin is a fortunate survivor, a small piece of history that escaped the melting pot. Today, the one mohur gold coin of the East India Company is a highly sought-after prize for numismatists and history enthusiasts around the world. Its appeal is multi-layered. For coin collectors, it represents a key transitional period in Indian currency, a time of immense historical change. The coin's beautiful design, high gold content, and connection to the dramatic rise of the East India Company make it a cornerstone piece for any collection focused on the British Empire or world gold coinage. The rarity of the original 19th century issues, especially those in good condition, drives their value significantly higher than their simple gold weight. For an American audience, the story of the Mohur offers a compelling parallel to their own history. The East India Company was in many ways the world's first multinational corporation, and its story of corporate power growing to rival that of nations resonates with modern themes. The coin is a tangible link to this era of global trade, corporate ambition and colonial expansion. It tells a story of how a private company, headquartered in London, came to rule a subcontinent and mint its own currency, a feat of corporate power that remains astonishing. The coin is a relic from the dawn of a globalized economy, a system in which America would later become a dominant player. The distinction between the original 1835 Mohurs and the modern 1985 restrikes is a critical point of interest. The originals are historical artifacts, each with a potential story of passing through the hands of merchants and officials who built an empire. Their value can reach thousands of dollars depending on their condition and mint mark. The 1985 coins, while beautiful and made of the same high-purity gold, are commemorative pieces. They offer collectors a way to own the iconic design at a much more accessible price point, closer to their bullion value. This makes the legacy of the Mohur available to a wider audience, even if the modern coins lack the historical journey of the originals. In conclusion, the journey of the one Mohur gold coin is a microcosm of the story of the East India Company itself. It began as a tool of commerce, evolved into a symbol of corporate dominance, and has now become a treasured historical artifact. From the coffers of the company in Calcutta to the display cases of collectors in California, the coin has traveled through time. It carries the weight of history in its golden gleam, a story of ambition, power, art, and the relentless rise of a company that changed the world. Its enduring appeal lies not just in its beauty or its precious metal, but in the dramatic human story it represents.